ποτέ.
Okay, so welcome everyone and thanks for being here. We'll give it a minute or two for the rest of the attendees to join the webinar, but please feel free to drop your questions in the comment section in the chat at any time during the webinar. It will be a 60-minute session, so we'll be able to address them as you go.
Πάρα πολύ. Αυτό είπα εγώ. Ναι, αλλά το βγάλω. Σίγουρα δεν ακούω.
Εσύ ακούς καλά.
Ναι, πολύ καλά.
Δεν ακούω την ερώτηση. Okay, so let's give it 1 minute more in order to wait the rest of the attendees to join. So also, if you would like to drop a message, a direct message, or drop in the chat, let us know where are you watching from which country, which city, or which region, if you wish to. Okay, so in 1 minute we will get started. Okay, so welcome again. Thanks for being here today. Please feel free to drop your questions in the comment section, in the chat section at the bottom of your screen. And anytime during the webinar, we will be able to address all your questions. So again, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're joining from. Thank you very much for joining us today. My name is Apostolos. I'm responsible for the global business development at Vortex Software. So today's webinar is about influencing factors of CMMS adoption in manufacturing. So this is not a product demonstration. It's also not a technical deep dive. The goal today is to help you understand why CMMS initiatives succeed or fail in real manufacturing environments, and what really determines whether CMMS delivers value or ends up, in most of cases, underutilized. By the end of the session, you will be able to evaluate a CMMS beyond features. You will be able to ask the right questions internally, and you will be able to understand what drives a real return on investment and not just an implementation. So here's how we're going to spend approximately the next 45 minutes. We're going to clarify what a CMMS really is. We're going to discuss a little bit the differences between a CMMS and an FSM because are often confused. We're going to discuss about CMMS specifically for manufacturing industry. We're going to analyze the 11 key influencing factors of CMMS adoption in manufacturing, how organizations typically start their CMMS journey, and then we're going to wrap up all this. We have a series of webinars, so please stay tuned in Vortex Software. You can stay tuned from our news in our website, vortex.com/en, but you may also be able to follow us on LinkedIn, so to be informed about our upcoming webinars. We have one more webinar next week. It will be the same as today, but in Greek language for Greek language speakers. And also we're going to have 2 more webinars next month regarding facility management software, regarding the maintenance process and the field service management process, but specifically for facility management. So very briefly about our company, about Vortex Software. Vortex Software is not a generic task or a ticketing platform. Vortex Software is a purpose-built ecosystem for technical operations, covering the field service, the maintenance, asset management, facility management, and project management. We're driving your digital transformation of your technical operations. So it's an innovative software, is a unique ecosystem of business software applications, industry-specific and purpose-built for technical operations, and always tries to empower organizations to succeed in their digital transformation. We are not new in the industry, so these logos are only indicative logos of some of our customers. So what we would like to say with this slide is that our solution is already proved, already working in a global environment, starting from small and medium business, family business, goes up to huge multinational organizations with multi-site all over the world, all around the globe. We're really strong in Greece and in the Middle East industry, where we have also our office in Greece and our office in Dubai. So from our office in Dubai, we're handling all Middle East regions, Saudi Arabia, Emirates, Oman, Kuwait, but we're also strong with our office in Greece. So we are now starting our expansion in Europe, in Romania, in Bulgaria, Estonia, Montenegro, and many other regions of Balkans. Since we are a software company, we can be anywhere. We have the tools to support you everywhere in the world or around the globe. So let's get started with the subject of today's webinar, of today's presentation. So what is a CMMS? Let's align on one thing first, what a CMMS actually is. A CMMS is a core asset management tool that focuses on maintenance planning, asset lifecycle management, equipment performance, preventive and corrective maintenance, and especially when we're talking about manufacturing, all these features, all these functionalities, all these areas directly supports uptime versus unwanted downtime, reliability, production continuity, that is really important in manufacturing. And it aligns with many different standards, in many cases like ISO or more, or others, where assets are treated as strategic contributors and not just cost centers. So a CMMS is not just a database, it is an operational control system for physical assets. So CMMS is used across many different industries. We can find CMMS in hotels, we could find in hospitals, in public buildings, in different kind of other infrastructure. But of course, manufacturing plants, manufacturing sites, production facilities, factories, CMMS is always there with a strong presence. Because manufacturing is unique. And why manufacturing is unique? Because downtime in manufacturing is immediate, miserable, and expensive, which brings us to this important, to see CMMS as a really important tool. Before going deeper to the CMMS, let's make a comparison between a CMMS and an FSM. So CMMS stands for Computer Maintenance Management System. FSM stands for Field Service Management. So they're often confused, but they serve different purposes. So both deal with maintenance, yes, but their core focus is different. So CMMS focuses on assets, on deep assets hierarchies, trees, lifecycle management, and preventative strategies. Condition-based maintenance that uses data capture during operation, along with condition-specific measurements that may not always occur, such as operating hours, or might not occur as temperatures and other kind of measurements. So integration with IoT, automation, integration with manufacturing execution systems, integration with ERPs. So that's the general scope of the CMMS. On the other hand, the FSM, the Field Service Management, focus mostly on field technicians, focus mostly on dispatching, on routing, real-time location, customer service workflows. Okay, so if your primary challenge is managing technicians in the field, and if you are serving customers, field service management may be the right discussion, and we'll host a dedicated webinar on that in the future. But if your challenge is keeping production assets running, then CMMS is the foundation. But it's really important that maintenance core is common to both. So today's session is relevant either way, okay? Let's go to the next slide and discuss a little bit about the common misunderstandings. So many organizations that we're talking every day believes that they already cover maintenance needs because they use an ERP system, a CRM system, or a task-centric system, or a case management system. But however, these systems are not designed for asset-centric maintenance operations. ERP systems focus on finance, focus on procurement, and some cases focus on high-level planning, not daily maintenance execution. So CRM, case management tools are also designed for customer interactions, incident handling, but not on physical assets, which is really important in the manufacturing, in the factories, in the production facilities. So task-centric tools manage isolated tasks without understanding asset history, hierarchy, or what we call the life cycle that is quite important in manufacturing. But a CMMS system is fundamentally different. It is asset-driven, it is maintenance-focused and built to support preventive strategies, reliability, and production continuity, not generic workflows. Okay, so keep it in your mind that when you are trying to stress an ERP system, to stress a CRM system, or an incident handling system, a case management system, you do not have production continuity. You do not have what we call asset management. You just have some generic workflows. So using the wrong tool creates the illusion of control, but the maintenance risks remain invisible. So if you belong to manufacturing, if you belong to the production, if you belong to the technical operations, you really want to eliminate the maintenance risk. So we analyze a little bit what a CMMS is. We analyze the differences between the CMMS and the FSM. the field service management, and we also analyze the difference between an industry-specific CMMS, a purpose-built CMMS, and some other stressed solutions like stressing your ERP, stressing your CRM, or a simple task management, or a case management, or an incident handling solution. But let's discuss now what does a CMMS really mean in the manufacturing environment. So a CMMS, in simple terms, can help a factory first to prevent breakdowns, which is the most important thing, to prevent breakdowns. Also helps to maintenance, to plan maintenance intelligently. You can also control spare parts and consumables, which most of the cases are not handled by your ERP, your CRM, or even your WMS, because are not products, finished or semi-finished goods, or any other kind of raw materials. Okay, so most of your cases that we're facing in factories, spare parts and consumables for the maintenance are not in your main ERP or WMS or even your manufacturing execution. So to control the spare parts and the consumables is the third functionality of a CMMS. You may also be able to reduce unplanned downtime. Okay, so in reality, it becomes a decision support tool, a reliability framework, and a bridge between maintenance and production. This is really important, to have a bridge between your maintenance technical services and your core business, which is to the production. So let's move to the heart of our today's webinar. Okay, so we're going to discuss about the key factors that you need to consider when you evaluated CMMS. So once you have some discussions with your suppliers, you're looking to the internet to find the CMMS, you have some internal discussions, you have some factors that you need to have in your mind, which are the most important factors when we're talking of the CMMS adoption in manufacturing. Again, you're going to listen many different CMMS softwares in the industry, but a CMMS for a hotel is not the same with a CMMS in a factory. Okay? So, Okay, so number one, equipment criticality and production bottlenecks. Okay, the slide says focus on the asset that directly impact output. Critical machines need higher maintenance priority. Let's analyze a little bit this. So not all equipment has the same impact on production, and treating all assets equally is one of the most common mistakes in the maintenance strategy. In manufacturing, certain machines act as bottlenecks when they stop. Okay, so the entire production line stops. Okay, there are some machines that when they are stopped, all the production line is stopped. Okay, a CMMS must allow you to classify assets, okay, based on the criticality and not just the technical type. Okay, so this enables maintenance teams to prioritize work orders and preventive tasks where they matter most. So without this focus, resources are spread too thin. Effective CMMS adoption starts by protecting the assets that protect your output. Okay, so it's not just a matter of a technical type, it's a matter of criticality. And a good CMMS must give you this option. Second one is the unplanned downtime cost versus the preventive maturity. So the financial impact of downtime drives investment in preventive and predictive, nowadays, maintenance strategies. So many organizations underestimate the true cost of the unplanned downtime. So beyond lost production, it includes overtime, quality issues, delayed deliveries, and even reputational damage. So you product a product that needs to be on the shelf or in your customer, or if you are in business to business, might be a raw material for someone else. But always, if you have problems with production, you do not only have problems with production, you have problems with your reputation. So when these costs are made visible, preventive maintenance stops being seen as an expense and now becomes an investment. So the CMMS is the tool that helps organizations measure the downtime accurately and justify preventive strategies. So, however, this only works if the organization is mature enough to act on the data. So the more preventive maturity you have, the more value a CMMS delivers. Okay, CMMS is the tool. Okay, you also need to have in your company culture, in your technical operations culture, or even in your organization DNA, the preventive maturity. Number 3 is the maintenance team digital readiness. So teams must be comfortable using digital tools for a CMMS to succeed. Okay, and this is, I think, the most common things that we hear from our customers. Are my technicians would be able to use that? Are my operators be able to use that? Are the dispatcher be able to use that? The production guys, the production manager, because here we are a factory and we don't know how to use digital tools. Probably my personnel are lower level. So we hear this all the time. So a CMMS is only as effective as the people using it. So if maintenance teams are not comfortable with digital tools, adoption will suffer, obviously, regardless of how powerful the system is. So ease of use, clear workflows, and proper training are the critical success factors for this case. So the goal is to support technicians, not slow them down. Okay, so when teams see the CMMS as a tool that makes their daily work easier, then adoption accelerates. But digital readiness is therefore a people challenge, okay, not a software one. Okay, so don't try to look always for the most easy to use software for your people. Try to find the right tool, okay, for your effective maintenance and to success to all these things that we're discussing today. Okay, and the training is the key. We are in 2005, so everyone could be trained effectively. So this is also a buying point to see and ask your suppliers. So where are their training system? Do they have a training culture? Do they have a standardized way to do their trainings? Do they have experience on that? Okay. Do they have a training department is included in the offer? Because in some cases, some of systems are saying, okay, with 10 euros per month, you might have a maintenance system, but there is no one there to train you, no one to support you, no nothing. You just download an application, or it's a web application, you get some password and a username, but then what happens? So number 4, spare parts and consumables visibility. Maintenance work often stops not because of lack of skills, but because the required spare parts are unavailable. So this is an important pain point, because again, I mentioned that before, spare parts and consumables, most of the cases are not in your ERP, your financial warehouse, your warehouse management system, wherever. Most of the cases are not there. So is a real pain to do not have available the spare parts to execute a work order. So without the real-time visibility into inventory planning, then you act like something a guesswork. So CMMS should connect maintenance activities directly with spare parts and consumables. It is ensure that preventive and corrective tasks, preventive and corrective work orders are not delayed due to missing materials. It also helps reduce the stock while avoiding shortages. So reliable inventory visibility is a key driver of maintenance efficiency. So always ask your potential CMMS supplier. What's going on with spare parts? Do you have some warehouse? Do you handling consumables? You handling consumables on the field, real time, whatever. Ask him about that. Okay, so seamless integration, number 5, avoids data silos, and what it's doing is improve operational decision making. So in manufacturing, maintenance does not operate in isolation, okay? Data already exists in your ERP, in your MES, in your SCADA, you have sensors, you have PLCs, you have other specific systems for your production. So disconnecting this will create what we call the information silos. So a CMMS must integrate smoothly with the broader production ecosystem, because every factory, every facility, every production facility, every manufacturing site has a broader ecosystem of softwares like an ERP, your MES, automation, SCADA, PLCs, but also you might have sensors. Nowadays, you might have an IoT platform. Some of your machines might have some predictive maintenance by their own. So this enables better, so a CMMS must integrate smoothly with this ecosystem, and this enables better planning and more accurate reporting, faster decision-making for you. So integrations also reduces manual data entry, reduces errors, and a successful CMMS adoptions in the modern factory depends heavily on how well it fits into the existing digital landscape. So please ask all your potential suppliers what they're doing on that, because you might see in a web CMMS with €5 per month, they're saying we have integration, yeah, but what kind of integration you have? Because this here, you're also going to need the professional services, okay? It's not so easy, okay? So you need a company with an experience. So beyond the product here, you need a company that really have the consultants, the project managers, the developers that can be able to smoothly integrate a CMMS with all this ecosystem. Management teams, okay? A CMMS, of course, is a tool for your technical operations, for your technical department, production department is involved, the plant management is involved, everyone. But at the end of the day, you have also the management. So CMMS supports tracking performance, efficiency, and reliability metrics that matter not only to daily operations, but also to leadership. So management teams do not manage maintenance activities, okay? But they manage performance. So KPIs, key performance indicators, such as mean time between failure, mean time to repair, or parts of the OEE, the overall equipment effectiveness, such as availability, which is a main part in the OEE calculation, translate maintenance efforts into a business language. So CMMS must be able also to capture reliable data and turn it to meaningful metrics. So this creates visibility and also the most important thing, the accountability at all levels of the organization, at all levels of the organization. So when leadership can clearly see the impact of the maintenance on production performance, support for CMMS adoption increases. So metrics are the bridge between the maintenance teams and the management. So CMMS is a software, okay? As we analyze until now, is a software. But is it a software really? Or maybe it's a production continuity tool. Okay, so one of the biggest adoption barriers is perception. So if a CMMS is seen as just another IT system or a digital logbook or, I don't know, just a software, just a platform, just a database, then it will never reach its full potential. That's why it's underrated in the modern factory. You know, CMMS is the most underrated tool in the modern factory compared to MES or automation tools or SCADA, whatever. Because in manufacturing, a CMMS must be positioned as a production continuity tool. Its purpose is to keep machines running and prevent disruptions. Okay? So when this mindset is clear, then CMMS becomes operationally critical. This shift in perception, okay, improves the engagement and the long-term usage of a CMMS in your factory, in your manufacturing site. So now let's discuss a little bit for the preventive versus the reactive, or the corrective, if you prefer. Both words are correct. Culture, okay, preventive versus reactive culture. So many manufacturing organizations operate in a reactive or in a corrective mode. They're fixing problems only after failures occur. So CMMS adoption requires a cultural shift towards this prevention. So this means that planning maintenance activities before breakdown happens. The system supports this shift, but let's say that leadership must reinforce it. So preventive culture reduces stress, emergency work, and unexpected costs. Okay? It's not just a matter of culture, it's a matter of how you can manage the unexpected costs. But that requires a shift in the culture. So a CMMS thrives in environments that are willing to move from what we call firefighting to foresight. Okay? So put the preventive culture in your organization DNA. Okay? Even you have a CMMS or even you don't have a CMMS, even if you are working with papers, put the preventive culture in your organization's daily DNA. Okay, we have, I've seen many different software projects to fail in my career, not only on the CMMS, but also in the manufacturing area, manufacturing execution, warehouse management, wherever. I'm more than 25 years in the manufacturing industry selling software solutions. And most of the cases, the problem was that the reliable data is essential, okay? And the incorrect inputs, as the slide says, lead to poor decision. Okay, so in our world, in software world, is the famous garbage in, garbage out. Okay, so CMMS relies entirely on data quality. So if incorrect or incomplete data is entered, then the output will be misleading. So this leads to poor decisions and loss of trust in the system. Data accuracy must be treated as a shared responsibility. So clear standards and simple processes will help ensure what we call the consistency. Okay, so reliable data is the foundation for your analytics, for your KPIs, for your continuous improvement. And this is always a responsibility of the customer, not of the supplier. Okay, so invest time in order to provide accurate data to the system, okay? And this will be paid back to you with a continuous improvement. Mobile maintenance. We discussed a little bit in the beginning of the presentation, the differences between the field service management and the maintenance management, the CMMS. And some people believe that the mobile maintenance, the mobile applications are only once you have a field service management, once you have field technicians around the region, traveling abroad or to other regions, to other countries. And in many cases, this is a misunderstanding because even if you are in the factory, the mobile maintenance impact on response times. So, of course, there are huge factories, huge manufacturing facilities, especially in heavy industry, or in other kind of manufacturing facilities. So you really may be able to understand why you need a mobile terminal to provide with your technician. But also in small factories, mobile CMMS allows technicians to update tasks in real time, and this is reducing the downtime. So in modern maintenance, modern maintenance is mobile by nature. So technicians are not sitting at desks and delayed updates. And all the delayed updates leads to outdated information. So we're in 2025, so we're talking about real-time information. Okay, so a mobile-first CMMS allows work orders, feedback, and data updates in real time. This improves response times and data accuracy simultaneously. Okay? It also reduces administrative work for technicians. It's a pity. We're going to some factories and we saw there a really state-of-the-art CMMS with all functionalities, everything, but without any mobile application. So again, it will be really difficult to improve the response times and the data accuracy if you just print papers and give it to your technician, and the technician fill out some forms and give it back to a secretary, and the secretary needs to data entry this. Okay, so mobility is no longer a luxury. Okay, it is a requirement. It's really cheap. Devices are really cheap right now. We're talking about Android devices with the entry level from $100, $80, whatever, depending on the region. So why not put the mobile maintenance in your life, ask for it in your potential suppliers. And also, one important characteristic could be to ask for a mobile application that will work offline, okay? Because nowadays everything is online, so with a Wi-Fi or GPRS, 3G, 5G, depending again on the region, everyone working properly when internet is there. But because we are talking for factories, we are talking for manufacturing side, would be many different sites inside your factory that you're not going to have not even Wi-Fi, not 3G, nothing. So try to find, it's mandatory in my opinion, for CMMS for factories, the mobile application be able to work also offline, not only online. Organizations often focus on the initial cost of a CMMS. So what we're facing every day is that many organizations are focused on the initial cost and ignoring the total cost of ownership. Okay, so implementation, training, support, internal effort, all these contribute to total cost of ownership. So at the same time, return of investment comes more tangible operational improvements, not from the software alone. Okay, so set realistic expectations for the total cost of ownership and the return of investment. Do not consider only the system purchase price, but also the implementation, the training, and the ongoing maintenance. Okay, and I'm seeing sometimes browsing the internet some systems that are saying that our system, our CMMS, does not require any implementation, is ready out of the box, does not require any training, is self-learning, does not require any maintenance, etc. This is not true. Okay, if you are in manufacturing industry more than 1 year, I would say, for sure you know that this is not true. It's not able to do that. Okay? If you know how software works, and if you know how manufacturing works on the other side, not only is it not possible to have a system without implementation, training, and maintenance, not only is it not possible, but I'm going to say that it's a lie. Okay? So you cannot do that. Okay? The most important thing on a CMMS project, it is the implementation, the analysis, the definition, the training, all what we call the professional services. Okay, so this was the 11 most important factors, influencing factors in your journey to find the CMMS software for a factory, for a production facility or a manufacturing site. Of course, there are also other, but this was, in our opinion, the most important. So based on everything we discussed, let us summarize how we, Vortex Software, approaches CMMS, okay? So what we like to have is the end-to-end visibility on assets. So we track all assets, sub-assets, we have deep hierarchy trees, separate attributes, for each asset or even sub-asset, work orders, inventory in real time for better operational insight. We're a mobile-first design, so in Vortex, technicians can update, access, manage tasks from anywhere, reducing response times, even when they are offline, and then the system automatically will update when they will get internet. We are an integration-ready application, so we connect seamlessly with ERP, manufacturing execution systems, SCADA, sensors, IoT platforms, everything that you might have in your factory, and we really have a big experience in the integration. Data-driven decision support provide reliable KPIs and analytics for the preventive maintenance and the long-term planning. And this not only requires a good product to do that, but requires really big experience from the personnel of the company, and we have that because we are focused on that. Flexible and scalable. VortexCMMS adopts your facility size. Multi-sites are all supported if you are a multi-site organization. Complexity, evolving maintenance strategy without over-complicated workflows. Okay, so VortexCMMS, these are not the only key differentiators. It's just the most important of them that they are related to the influencing factors that you saw in the previous slides. So if you would like to start your CMMS journey, I'll describe a little bit how we are doing that in Vortex Software. So first of all, we're going to define your requirements. We're going to have some meetings to understand your maintenance challenges, your asset scope, the KPIs, and your business objectives. Okay? So from the sole contributor technician up to your CEO, everyone wants to see some things from your CMMS. Okay, probably the management needs the KPIs, the high-level management, middle management would like to see the scheduling, the dispatching, low-level technician needs to do quickly his job. So we need to define all these requirements. And then we're trying to match our product VortexCMMS capabilities to your operational needs and your specific use cases, okay? Because again, you are a factory, you are a production facility, you are not a hotel, you're not a hospital, but on the other side, even inside in manufacturing, you are different manufacturing processes. So you might be a food and beverage, you might belong to construction materials, you might belong to paintings, you might belong to glass industry, you might belong to heavy industry, minerals, aquaculture, whatever, okay? We need our product, VortexCMMS, is able to match your unique needs, but to do this, we need also to define your requirements. And after that, you are able to see a tailored demo to your needs. You are also able to see a first look and feel demo before all this, in order to understand a little bit the positioning of the product and the look and feel, and if you like it. But the real demo will be after the definition and the solution alignment, because this demo will be tailored on your needs. And if all this meets your expectation, you can go to the commercial proposal. Then we're going to send you our pricing, license, implementation, scope, timeline, a complete financial and technical offer with the total cost of ownership overview. And of course, after that, we might negotiate, make some revisions, some alignment, and we can then go for a contract and have our project kick off an implementation plan. But why I'm saying all this, because I would like to spot the difference between a simple web suite that is on the internet, does not include anything on this, and say, okay, download it, or just take a username and a password if it's a web application, and you are ready. Make some, move some boxes, and you are ready. I don't think so that in a factory this can work. So, CMMS adoption is not a software decision. for us is an operational transformation. If you focus on your assets, on your people, on your processes, and a realistic return of investment, then CMMS could become a strategic advantage and not just another system. We'd like to thank you very much for your time. We'll now move to questions if there are any. And again, if you'd like a deeper discussion, we're happy to continue offline anytime you want. You will receive the recording of this presentation in your email. You are free to share it with your colleagues or any of your partners if you know that they're looking to understand a little bit more the CMMS. So if we don't have any questions. Okay, sounds good. Thank you very much for your time. We're going to send you the recording of this session and take care. Bye-bye.